On this Mother's Day special, we talked to two community leaders about how we can inspire and empower young women in our community through Women's Giving Circle, a program of Heritage Fund. Are you ready to celebrate? Whoa. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another #Celebrate Columbus show. My name is Josh Burnett, and as you can see, we've got two special guests today. I'm very excited. We're recording this episode at Heritage Fund, and we're going to be talking about empowering and inspiring young women in our community. As you can see, we've got two special guests. I'm going to go ahead and let them introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about what you do in the community.
My name is Donna Keogh. I'm a retired teacher, and I have agreed to be chairperson of the Women's Giving Circle, which is an arm of the Heritage Fund. And do you want to know about Women's Giving Circle?
I'd love to hear about Women's Giving Circle.
It's an organization that brings together women in philanthropy. So all of the women in Columbus who want to make the community a better place for women and their families join together for a small amount of money, and then we grant money in certain areas to organizations and try to help as many people as we can.
That's really cool. I actually got my wife Katie membership for Mother's Day. She said she didn't really want anything for Mother's Day, and I said no, we have to do something really cool. And so I thought that'd be a really cool way. And mothers, ladies out there, Women's Giving Circle is such an awesome group here in Columbus. You've got to join if you're not a part of it already.
Great. I'm Laura Hack. I've been an educator here in Columbus, Indiana for over 26 years. I am currently the Director of Elementary Education for BCSC, and I'm a teacher at heart, principal as well here in Columbus. And so it's just been a great run in education for me. Very
cool. Well, as you know, Columbus, on the #Celebrate Columbus show, we have been celebrating educators all month, and I can't wait to get into this show where we're going to be talking about how you can be involved in inspiring and empowering young ladies in Bartholomew County. Let's get into the show. How did reading impact the way you saw yourself in your future?
I remember reading a lot of books when I was in grade school, and I remember being inspired by many different kinds of people. I do remember reading biographies, but specifically I do remember reading Little Women, and Jo March was the kind of person who just had to do what she felt she had to do. And I thought, okay, that's, it's what is important to you. That's what I got from most books. There was another book that I read about a woman by the name of Johnny Erickson, who was an Olympic diver and swimmer, and she became paralyzed. She became a quadriplegic, but eventually taught herself to paint with her teeth. And she sold all kinds of artwork, and wow, that's really an inspiring story. So those kinds of things just meant a lot to me. They, just told me that I could do whatever I wanted to do.
I was blessed to be in a home where reading was foundational and fundamental. So it was very emotional to see my mother read and to have my grandmother recite poetry to me. So there's always been an emotional tie to reading for me. And so that then carried through not only into my formative years in the elementary, but into high school and then into college, and then even onto research whenever I obtained my doctorate. So I think that it's just the way to start out right. Whenever you can sit next to a child hip to hip, and that emotional tie. I don't remember learning to read. It just became so natural to me. And so when I wanted to learn more about something, you pick up a book and do that. When I wanted to gain more confidence in something, you find inspirational passages to do that. So it just is a natural fit for everything I do in my life. to know what do I need to do and how do I do it better, I've got to read more about it to figure it out. And I know that we have Snapchat, and I know we have Instagram, and I know we have all those opportunities, but I think being able to read a blog or read an actual book or read someone's Facebook post, I think that means a lot. And to do that, you have to learn how to read, but then the emotional tie with it.
As young women, which books were some of your favorite that made an impact on you? Donna, you spoke a little bit about Little Women. What are some other books or characters that inspired you all?
I like reading about history, specifically Lewis and Clark were a great story as far as I'm concerned. And Sacagawea, the young woman that they met along the way, was instrumental in making that trip a success to the West Coast. Without her, they wouldn't have been able to get through the other territories that they did. So even though she's been gone for a long time, she still inspires me to be, to do what I know how to do and help other people, in whatever it is they're doing. I'm trying to think of some other characters that just... Tamika Catchings recently wrote a memoir when she retired, and this young woman, rose to the tops of the WNBA as an athlete, but she is so much more than just an athlete, and she, I think, is a great inspiration to young women.
And when I think about books that I've read, just strong characters in general, I think that you can be inspired, whether you're male or female, by strong characters. And a strong character that's meant a lot in my life is the Diary of Anne Frank, and the work that they portrayed happening whenever she was living in that situation. It's just inspiring, and it's encouraging, and it's scary, and you put yourself in that role and you think, what would I do?
Right.
And I think that's what we do as teachers, is we encourage our students to put yourself in that role and empathize with what's going on and learn what's happening in that situation, and what can you take away from that situation. You don't have to go through that situation to better understand that situation, and then learn from it and develop yourself differently. And I think that's what I want to see happening with all of our students, is that opportunity to learn and grow and say, wow, I'd never thought about it from that lens. And isn't that cool that I can read about it and grow from it and be better? And I think that's what reading can do for us. And I think that's what reading has done for me.
Where can girls get access to books today to inspire them?
Well, Benjamin Franklin established the public library system in this country, and I have to say it is one of the best things that ever happened to the United States. Each community has a public library that is funded by taxes. Ours is county tax. And Bartholomew County Public Library is a jewel in Columbus. It has everything imaginable. They keep, the people in charge keep adding new things as new things come on board, but it has, it just has so many departments, and you can always find something to everyone's taste at the library.
And then in the schools, we also have individual libraries in each school. So there's an opportunity for students to go to the library and again select a book, hopefully with the support of a media specialist in there that can inspire them, encourage them. They can develop their own passion. They can learn more about something. And so we do have those opportunities on our own schools to make that bridge to what students need and what students want, and then be able to read about it. There's always an opportunity, though, for our books for us to gain more books, and I think that's what we want to talk about today.
How can we as a community support our young girls through Turning the Page program?
We definitely want our BCSC libraries to be a reflection of our community. We have such a welcome and diverse community and population that we want to make sure that whenever students walk into our libraries, they can see themselves. And so I think this opportunity presents itself at a wonderful time and in a wonderful way.
Women's Giving Circle is starting this program in cooperation with the BCSC called Turning the Page for girls in Bartholomew County. We hope to raise $5,000 to put books into all of the school libraries in the county that will enable girls to read stories that will inspire them, empower them, and make them better women as they grow. So we hope you will go to the Heritage Fund website, and you can access the Women's Giving Circle there and make a contribution, or come to our kickoff event on Tuesday, May 23rd from 5 o'clock to 6:30 at the Heritage Fund Courtyard, where you can learn more about the Women's Giving Circle and the Heritage Fund and ways to contribute to this Turning the Page project.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being on the hashtag Celebrate Columbus show, and a special Happy Mother's Day to you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Columbus, thank you so much for tuning in to this special that we did today in collaboration with BCSE, Women's Giving Circle, and Heritage Fund. You never know how a small investment in our community can make a difference in the life of a child.